Hello students, today we'll be solving the IB Math A HL May 2024 paper 3 time zone 2 question number 1. You will be getting the other solved questions of the other papers in form of playlist on my channel NS Online Math Tutoring Classes. You will also be getting playlists where the solved past paper questions will be available based on their topics. I'm Nilanjana Sanyal. I'm an online IB Math A HL level tutor. In case you want to join my classes, please contact me for more details. My phone number and my website address are displayed at the bottom of the screen. So, without any further delay, let us start answering question number 1. The maximum mark is 24. If two functions f of x and g of x are differentiable, their product is differentiable. And the two functions satisfy the product rule if we get the first derivative of the product of f of x times g of x, it will be equal to f of x times the first derivative of g of x plus g of x times the first derivative of f of x, and the derivative is taken with respect to x. In this question, you will meet examples of pairs of differentiable functions f of x and g of x that also satisfy. That means this is there obviously, and in addition to this, they also satisfy this relation, that is the derivative of this product f of x times the g of x is equal to f dash x, that is the first derivative of f of x times the first derivative of g of x. In part A, consider f of x equal to 1 over 2 minus x whole square, where x is a real number and x is not equal to 2, and g of x equal to x square, where x is a real number. Subpart A, it is containing 3 further subparts. The I is saying find an expression for f dash of x. It contains 2 marks. Okay. So, AI f of x is equal to 1 over 2 minus x whole square. Now, you may use the quotient rule. I am writing this as f of x equal to 2 minus x raised to the power of negative 2, and now I'll be finding the derivative. So therefore, f dash x will be equal to, the power will be coming down, negative 2 comes down, and then 2 minus x will be getting raised to negative 2 minus 1. The power gets reduced by 1, and then the derivative of 2 minus x is negative 1. So this is equal to, therefore, f dash x is equal to negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. So this is 2 over 2 minus x raised to the power of 3. You can write 2 times 2 minus x raised to the power of negative 3, or 2 over 2 minus x whole cubed. Okay. So this is the answer for the subpart I of the, or the first subpart of subpart E. And then you have to show that the product of the first derivative of f of x and the first derivative of g of x equal to 4x over 2 minus x whole cubed. Okay, fine. So, first of all, we have to get the first derivative of g of x, because we know the first derivative of f of x. So, g dash x is equal to 2x. Okay, because g of x equal to x square, so g dash x equal to 2x. Therefore, f dash x times g dash x is equal to 2 over 2 minus x whole cubed times 2x implies f dash x times g dash x is equal to 4x over 2 minus x whole cubed. Okay? Yeah. Fine. So this is shown. Okay. And now I show that f of x times g dash x plus g of x times f dash x equal to this 4x over 2 minus x whole cubed. So they are trying to prove that f dash x, because they have said that this will also be equal to this one. So we have got the expression of f dash x times g dash x, and now we will be getting the expression of this part, and we will be showing that these two expressions are the same. Okay, so let me write the AII over here. Okay, so f of x times g dash x plus g of x times f dash x is equal to, f of x is this, so 1 over 2 minus x whole squared times g dash x is 2x, this one, plus g of x squared times f dash x, this 2 over 2 minus x whole cubed. Okay, so now we have to simplify this, and this is 2 minus x whole square, this one is 2 minus x whole cubed, and we are seeing that there is a single term and the denominator is 2 minus x whole cube. So let me multiply both the numerator and the denominator of this first term with 2 minus x, so that I get 2 minus x whole cube in the denominator of the first term. So I am writing 2x is this one, and 2 minus x over 2 minus x whole cubed plus 2x squared over 2 minus x whole cubed. Okay, so now I can write this, I can combine these two terms. So 2 minus x whole raised to the power of 3, and I am expanding this part. It is 4x minus 2x squared, and from this it is plus 2x squared. Okay, plus 2x squared. So these two will be getting cancelled. So therefore, f of x times g dash x plus g of x times f dash x is equal to 4x over 2 minus x whole raised to the power of 3. Okay. So this is shown. Okay. In parts B and C, consider two non-constant functions f of x and g of x, where f of x is greater than 0 and g of x is not equal to g dash x. So part B is saying find by rearranging the equation f of x times g dash x plus g of x times f dash x is equal to f dash x times g dash x. So show that f dash x over f of x equal to g dash x over g dash x minus g of x. Okay, fine. Fine, so let me start over here. So part B, f of x times g dash x plus g of x times f dash x is equal to f dash x times g dash x. Okay, and I need f dash x over f of x. Okay, so let me, this is containing f dash x, this term, and this is having f dash x. So let me take this term to the right side, or I can subtract g of x times f dash x from both the sides. So we will be getting f of x times g of g dash x equal to f dash x times g dash x minus f dash x times g of x. Okay, this one I have written f dash x first. Okay, and then so this is equal to, I'm taking f dash x common. So this is g dash x minus g of x. Okay, so now I'm dividing both sides by f dash x. So I am getting f of x times g dash x over f dash x is equal to g dash x minus g of x. Okay, they have taken f dash x in the numerator. That means I have to again flip this. No problem. So now I am dividing the entire equation by g dash x. So f of x over f dash x is equal to g dash x minus g of x over g dash x. So now I have to just bring the denominator to the numerator and take the numerator to the denominator. I'm taking the reciprocal, in fact. So it is this. So this is equal to g dash x over g dash x minus g of x. Okay. So we have got so many marks so fast. So shown. Now coming to part C, hence by integrating both sides of this equation show that f of x equal to this expression where e is an arbitrary positive constant. It is also containing 2 marks. So if dash x over f of x, and we have to integrate with respect to x. So this should be equal to the integral of g dash x over g dash x minus g of x, and it is dx. Okay. So if you have problem in integrating this, let me just substitute. I'm showing the substitution over here. So let t is equal to f of x. So dt over dx is equal to f dash x, because when we differentiate f of x with respect to x, we get f dash x. So therefore dt equal to f dash x dx. Okay. So in place of f dash x dx, I am writing dt. So this is dt over t, because t is f of x. And this one I am keeping it as it is because it is there. G dash x over g dash x minus g of x dx. And this one is ln of t equal to g dash x dx over g dash x minus g of x. And because I have integrated, so let me write, I could have written plus c. I have to write the constant of integration. I could have written plus c, but I am seeing that this is a. Okay, so ultimately, even if I have c, I should be writing c equal to ln of a, because I am seeing there is this e and there is this ln. So it is better to write the constant term in terms of ln. So I am writing this as plus ln of a. Okay, and I'm taking the ln of a to the left side. So this is ln of t. T was f of x, and f of x was greater than 0. Let me show it. See, over here they have said f of x is greater than 0. Okay, because I have to write ln of f of x. So since f of x is greater than 0, I do not need that absolute value notation. Okay, so this is ln of f of x minus ln of a equal to integral of g dash x over g dash x minus g of x dx. Okay, and these two can be combined, and I'll be getting ln of e is an arbitrary positive constant. Okay, I can write where e is greater than 0. Okay, so this is f of x over a, ln of f of x over a is equal to g dash x dx over g dash x minus g of x. So this is, now I am taking the exponential expression. I am taking e to the power of for both the sides. Okay, so this is e to the power of ln of f of x over a equal to e to the power of g dash x dx over g dash x minus g of x. Okay, so e and ln, these two are inverse functions, so I get f of x over a is equal to e to the power of g dash x dx over g dash x minus g of x. And so this is f of x equal to, I'm multiplying a on both the sides of the equal to sign. So it is a times e to the power of integral of g dash x, and this is dx over g dash x minus g of x. Okay, so this is what they have asked us to show. Okay, see, this is this. So we have shown this. Okay, the result from part C can be used to find pairs of functions f of x and g of x which satisfy both of the following: f of x times g of x when differentiated with respect to x is equal to this one and also equal to this one. Okay, in parts D and E, use the result in part C with E equal to 1. E is 1. Okay, consider now they are giving the expression for g of x. They have given the expression for g of x for subpart D. Consider g of x equal to x times e to the power of x. Find f of x such that f of x and g of x satisfy the above two equations. Okay, so we have to use the result in part C. So let me write it over here. So this is D. F of x is equal to, I'm not writing the E because E is 1, or I can write 1 times e to the power of g dash x. So, okay, let me write g dash x first because I have not found the g dash x expression previously. So, I'm writing this first. Minus g of x dx. Okay. And g of x is equal to x times e to the power of x. Therefore, g dash x is equal to, we have to use the product rule. First of all, I am differentiating x, so it is e to the power of x. And now I am differentiating e to the power of x, so it is x times e to the power of x. So I can just write this as e to the power of x and 1 plus x or x plus 1. Okay. So this is the expression for g dash x. So therefore, f of x is equal to e to the power of integral of e to the power of x times 1 plus x over, for this I am writing, for this expression g dash x, I am writing the expanded form. It is e to the power of x plus x times e to the power of x minus g of x, which is minus x times e to the power of x. And of course, there is this dx. So these two will be getting cancelled. And we have f of x equal to e to the power of integral of e to the power of x times 1 plus x. So I can just expand this. And this is, or else I can, okay, the e to the power of x will be getting cancelled. But anyway, because I have expanded it, let me keep it this way for this step. And this is equal to e to the power of, again, I am taking it out. E to the power of x is the common factor. Okay. So this is basically equal to e to the power of integral of 1 plus x dx. So therefore, f of x is equal to e to the power of x plus x square over 2. Okay. So this is the expression for f of x. Now coming to subpart E, the last subpart. Consider g of x equal to sin x plus cos x. Find f of x such that f of x and g of x satisfy the above two equations over the domain x is greater than 0 but less than pi. Because these are trigonometric ratios, so they have to give the domain. Give your answer in the form f of x equal to square root of e to the power of x times h of x, where h of x is a function to be determined. This is carrying, the first one, subpart D, contained 5 marks and this is having 7 marks. Okay. So this is, again, we have to take the same expression for f of x and e is equal to 1. So 1 times, and okay, let me now get the g dash x first. G of x is equal to sin x plus cos x. So therefore, g dash x is equal to cos x minus sin x. Okay. And now f of x equal to 1 times e to the power of integral of g dash x, which is cos x minus sin x, over cos g dash x, so cos x minus sin x minus g of x. So it is minus sin x minus cos x and dx. So these two will be getting cancelled. So we have this to be equal to e to the power of integral of cos x minus sin x over minus 2 sin x dx. So this is equal to e to the power of negative half cos x over sin x dx and plus half. Yeah, this minus sign and this minus sign will be cancelling. So plus half and sin x will also be cancelling. So it is integral dx, 1 dx or dx. So therefore, f of x is equal to now cos x over sin x. So if let t is equal to sin x, therefore dt by dx is equal to cos x. So therefore cos x dx equal to dt. Okay. So this is e to the power of negative half and cos x dx equal to dt. So dt over t, t is sin x plus half x from the second integral. Okay. So this is equal to e to the power of negative half ln of t plus half x. So therefore, f of x is equal to t is equal to sin x, e to the power of negative half ln of sin x. And now you can understand the importance of giving this domain between 0 and pi. That means x is covering the first two domains, the first two quadrants where sin x is positive, because this will be ln of sin x and we cannot have a negative number as the argument of a log function. Okay, so that is why they have specified the quadrants, the domain of x. So sin x will be positive in both the first and the second quadrant. So we can have sin x as the argument of the ln function. Okay, and because sin x will be positive in the first two quadrants, I do not have to put the absolute value notation. Plus half x. Okay, we have got the expression for f of x, but they have asked us to give the expression of f of x in this form. Okay, so what do? I am seeing there is the square root. Okay, so I can write this as e to the, I am separating these two. So these two, it is e to the power of negative half ln of sin x times e to the power of half x. Okay. So this one can be written as e to the power of ln of sin x raised to the power of negative half. Okay. Times e to the power of half x. So this is equal to e and ln, they will be nullifying each other and it will be 1 over sin x, root sin x I mean. It is 1 over square root of sin x. Okay. And this can be written as e to the power of x raised to the power of half. Okay. And what is half? Half is square root. So this is equal to 1 over square root of sin x times square root of e to the power of x. Okay, you see, square root of e to the power of x. We have got this. We have got this. So I can write this as square root of e to the power of x times 1 over sin x. Okay, because this is having the square root, and this can be written as 1 can be written as square root of 1. Okay, so I can write this as in this form. So this, therefore, f of x is equal to, they have specified h of x. H of x is a function which has to be determined. So this is equal to e to the power of x times h of x, where h of x is equal to 1 over sin x. Okay, so this is the expression for f of x. Okay, so we have completed answering this question number 1 of paper 3. Thank you for staying with me till the end. Please like and share this video with your friends if in case you have liked my explanation. And please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It will be motivating me. It will be increasing my videos reach. So it will be helping me a lot. And we meet again very soon in our next session. We'll be solving the question number 2 of the same paper. Till then, bye.